You're live. Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to the Ping Pong Podcast, number 17. Now, many people may not have had a chance to look at 16 yet because we did 2 yesterday. One from the Merricks, which was 15, and 16, which I did with Jacob from here. But here we are at 17.
Yes, we are. This table is usually much more flat than the Merricks was when we played. Their house a little bit twisted.
There's the potential for that. Just wasn't currently flat.
Yes. Well, they normally don't keep it there, but when they have a party over, they set up tables and chairs in the flat space because it's in the shade.
So in safety news, we pulled up today and Nordstrom's had police out front and they had police tape and people standing out in the parking lot. And so we thought, hey, here we go again with the shooting from a couple of weeks ago. And so we went in a different entrance and you'd say, well, you could not go in at all. Well, that wouldn't be any fun. So we went in the Starbucks in the middle entrance, sort of near the food court, and between the Bridge Macy's and the other Macy's.
4-story Macy's.
And the courtyard Starbucks, as opposed to, is there another Starbucks?
Well, there's a Starbucks,
Macy's Starbucks
inside Macy's.
Anyway, the courtyard Starbucks, where there's the ice cream place with the dinosaur.
Right.
Mary went in first because I had to park the car, not because I was chicken. And we just started wandering over to Nordstrom's to see if there's anybody running the other way. And we did marvel at the fact that we were walking into the place where
towards the place where we had seen police tape.
Police tape and, assumed danger, right?
It's the looky-loo syndrome of people looking at accidents on the side of the road as they're driving. We were going to be looky-loos.
So as we walked towards Nordstrom's, all the stores were open, and there were people there, even though it was a little light. It was a little, not quite as full as it might normally be, but although it isn't Monday.
Sorry about that. We thought that, for a Monday night, Mondays are usually kind of light anyway compared to weekends, so the traffic was a little bit light, but it was lighter than we normally see, especially down near the new end, Nordstrom's end of the mall.
And so we got to Nordstrom's and the door was open, so we figured, all right, well, I guess we'll go in. And then we walked over to the area where the police cars were and all the tape and all the people were standing outside. And by the time we got over there, the police tape was gone and there was no longer any people outside, but there was still, there was no tape, but there was still a police car outside the door.
Wawa says, hi, Cones.
Hi, Ben. That's helping us with travel for anybody who wants to get help with their travel arrangements. It's a plug for Beth. And so there was still a police car, and so we didn't really know what happened, so we went over to the customer service desk, personal shopper lady's place, and although I guess it could be men too. And they said that there was a snatch and grab on purses, and they had to evacuate the whole store. So we don't know if it was somebody grabbed merchandise purses or if somebody stole a lady's or a gentleman's purse while it was on them. We didn't get that far into it. But there was not a shooting.
No, just theft.
There was theft. So Mary was saying that if you buy online, you don't have to worry about store theft. It doesn't affect you. Whereas if you come to the live store, you do. But you get a lot more exercise this way than buying online. I think that's where I gained all the weight, was sitting in front of my computer, eating, instead of walking around the mall, playing ping pong. Of course, you don't get to see me walking around the mall. It would be like, what was that movie? It was all shaky. The people being afraid and going into the forest.
Oh, Blair Witch Project.
But, yeah, I'm sure you don't want to watch video like the Blair Witch Project, which is why we do have a small but effective tripod for the Ping Pong Podcast. But for walking, it would be quite a challenge to get a usable video because theoretically be shaking the whole time unless you had some sort of a
Steadicam
dolly system with a cameraman and.
Do they make? Is that a technology thing or an internal mechanism thing? What?
I don't know how a Steadicam works, but I know it does work. So yeah, we would kind of look like ants, like in what's the Katniss Everdeen movie? Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
What's the movie?
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. The Hunger Games movies, where they had the ants. In the later movies, were following her around, the people with the video cameras all over them.
Oh yes.
So we need people like that, I guess. If you want to see the Walking Del Amo podcast instead of the Ping Pong podcast, because this is only a small portion of our daily walk, about 20 to 25 minutes. Oh, it was almost a kill.
Almost. Not quite. Ah!
It looked like it was going to go into the ping pong holder on the corner. They got ping pong holders here. Not my thumb.
I heard the lack of sound that the ping pong paddle would have normally made. Sorry if I was off camera there for a bit. I was in the back, shooting long distance.
Did it work or not work?
That was not great.
Hitting it with your fingers is not encouraged. It's also not against the rules because we don't have any rules. So don't hit it far because then I have to chase it.
I was trying to kind of catch it, but Gina Care is watching.
Hi, Gina.
Beth says thanks. She's looking for some travel deals for us. So while watching us play ping pong.
So the plan is to go see Sabrina sing in Salzburg, so we're trying to plan that trip with a little bit before, during, and after. But she's performing twice, once in July and once in August. So end of July, beginning of August.
That was a good one. Right in the bridge of the nose. Oh!
Trying to trick shot, it's not working.
I noticed.
All trick shots do not work.
that one wasn't even close.
No, I didn't try. I did poorly. Theoretically, with ping pong, you have to try different shots so it's not the same repetitive motion all the time.
Right.
It's funny, too, because if you look at Ping Pong podcast number 15, we were shooting at ourselves from the front side of the camera, and so everything is reversed. So the Merrick's backyard doesn't exactly look like that. It looks the opposite.
Backwards because we're shooting.
It's all backwards.
From the selfie camera.
Right, and you can fix that in the camera. I just didn't think about it when we were shooting it. Actually, if you look at the Ping Pong podcast number 1, we had the same issue where it looks like we're both left-handed. We also just installed WhatsApp.
Ah! Sorry. What's that?
To be able to connect with those people who use WhatsApp. So if you're looking for another way to reach us besides Yahoo Messenger or text messaging, there's gotta be a third way, isn't there?
Email.
FaceTime.
FaceTime.
Now you can also contact us on WhatsApp.
Oh!
What does it have to do with the Ping Pong podcast? Nothing.
Just a bit of information.
One of the challenges is can you scoop it off the floor back into play? Yesterday, Jacob and I are also, if you were looking at Ping Pong podcast number 16, we're playing 2 balls at one time.
Oh my.
So it's kind of like juggling. And so if you're looking for other interesting things to watch in the Ping Pong podcast you may not have seen before, number 16 has got Ping Pong juggling with me and Jacob. Sabrina went to the dentist today to get a night guard so she won't grind her teeth. And she came back with a friend, and they were hanging out. So I don't know how many people we're having for dinner. But I do know we're out of cider. So we may stop at Sam's Club On the way home, we do get some. Because we can always make tacos because I've always got a giant thing of tortillas.
That's almost always true. Occasionally, we must run out of tortillas
At some point, but if you buy the giant ones, they'll last for a pretty long time. Not the giant tortillas, the giant packs. So then you could just sort of take some rice and some onions and some mushrooms and some greens of some kind and some chilies. And that's, taco filling. You can add some salsa. You can add some cabbage on top. It's kind of taco night. Mary's family used to do a different thing. So can you explain what taco night used to mean when you were growing up?
Like a tostada, sort of open-faced taco, except instead of using tortillas, we would take usually plain tortilla chips, not like Doritos, but plain tortilla chips and crush them down to be the crunchy base beneath all the taco fillings, or the tostada fillings, whatever you want.
Chupacabra!
Ah! Disappeared!
So do you know which member of your family invented this?
No, I have no idea how it got started. They just started making open-face taco.
So there was obviously a taco
salad.
meat that we don't eat now. We would substitute with some other sort of vegetable type thing, whether it's
Right.
rice or tofu or
Beans and rice
veggie
and-
meat. And so what else would you add?
Chopped tomatoes and lettuce and onions and cilantro and guacamole,
Olives?
salsa.
So
Black
basically,
olives.
make your own taco bowl, basically.
Make your own
but
taco
you didn't do
or
bowls, you
tostada
did
bowl.
plates, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of crushed them, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a big part of the thing is you would take the chips and you smush them with your hands?
Well, you needed to make them more bite-sized so you could pick them up with a fork. Whoop! Because it wasn't easy if you're trying to eat like tortilla chips with a fork. It's easier if they're not all in one piece. You didn't have to like crush them tiny like it was a pie crust or anything, but you wanted to break them a little bit so that they were not giant and would fit on your fork when you were eating. Because you weren't going to be picking it up with your hands like it's not nachos. I guess theoretically it's the same principle as nachos, though. Nachos with a fork. With some breaking of the nacho tortillas prior.
So I assume you would credit your dad, not your mom, for that.
I would probably credit my dad
Or
because
is your mom more the cook? She
well,
wouldn't
my
have made
mom
that
was
up.
more the cook.
But she wouldn't have made up that. That sounds like a camping thing.
That sounds like we went camping thing and saw somebody else making it, or
But your dad was known for
I
liking
used to
spicy
read,
food, too.
magazines with recipes and stuff in it. Back in the old days before the internet. Can't go diving head first into the giant metal signage that's right off to the side there. I'm going chasing fast because I'm not going into that. Just like he's not going into that pole.
Right, but I also moved this ping pong table a little closer to the pole so that we could get a better shot from that ping pong table and get enough width to get both of us in the shot from the iPhone.
Tova's watching.
Hi, Tova.
Oh, that was my thumb.
I was talking to somebody, I think it was Dan Schreier. Dan Schreier asked the question, why are you doing this? What's the point? There is no point, ladies and gentlemen. We would be playing ping pong and talking anyway.
We would just be not on camera. Because we played for a long time before we ever started podcasting them.
So you can blame Facebook or you can blame Dusty Stiles, the former television instructor at Beverly Hills High School. Kill shot.
Kill shot that missed.
Suicide.
Death by ping pong. Oh, sorry. Good save. Ah! That was right back into the post again.
I saved it only to be punished with the same shot.
Gina says hi.
Hi,
Gina says you guys are good. Have fun.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all we're doing really is having fun. If we can inspire you to have fun, and we've done something nice. There's a Jewish Hebrew saying, Tikkun Olam, to heal the world. And so I posit that letting people see us play ping pong and hear what we're talking about gives them more of a sense of community, because they're generally our friends if they're watching it. And that is doing something to heal the world, to make people think about something fun or funny or interesting or not interesting. Feel free to join in the comments. Like and share.
Like and share. This is like our daily phone call to you to let you know, to tell you stories about our day. You can tell us about your day in the comments. If I remember to read them.
There's big news, however, that we have not shared yet, which is tomorrow is a special day.
That is true.
Now, we were married on July 2nd, 1989, and so tomorrow will be our 30th anniversary. Yay!
Is there a, we should look up, Karen will probably look it up, the equivalent, like 25 is silver and 50 is gold or something?
I think 30 is Sotheby's. We've already established that.
30 is Sotheby's, yes.
Or Christie's, one of the two. And we sort of already spent our big budget for Mary's birthday. I said, this may be not only your birthday present, but also your anniversary present. Now, if you want to see what it is, you'll have to come over to the house. But suffice to say, we do tend to collect art. So, and we tend to go for smaller drawings by better known artists. So we actually paid for 3 different pieces today. One piece, though, we bought just recently, but we bid on like in March.
November or something. That's a long time ago.
Well, whatever it was months and months ago. And we didn't win the bid.
We were not the winning bidder. But the winning bidder backed out. So we were the second highest winning bidder, and they came to us and asked if we were still interested at our last bid price.
And we said yes.
Or we would have not bid that. If we were not willing to buy it at that. But it saved the auction house from having to put it back in another sale. They could just close the deal with the second buyer and move on.
So it pays to bid, ladies and gentlemen, even if you don't win.
Sometimes it pays to bid even if you don't win.
Well, it's not a lot.
It's not a lot.
It's the first time it ever happened to us, right?
That is true. But it's the first time for everything, right?
Well, but it shows that it is not, it's a non-zero chance of it happening.
Right. It has happened before.
But even if you lose a bid, you may win in the end, because you're the one who's lined up in case that person doesn't pay for their auction.
Donut paddle!
Nope, nobody saw that.
Nobody saw that
Doing
either.
really well back here, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll have to watch the replay. I'm going to watch the replay. Oh, yep. Sorry, that was on camera. The pole is on camera, although you'd have to really zoom in to see it hitting the pole. So yes, there is documentary footage of you doing that.
Well, what I'm hoping to do is create so much video that no one ever notices. We can say that, Ping Pong podcast number 17 was relatively unlikely, but how high could that number go? What's the benefit? How much do people enjoy watching? How many questions can I answer about it that are rhetorical that no one can answer?
Well, they could answer in the comments. Oh, good shot.
And we also have the presence of our upcoming trip to watch Sabrina sing. That is also part of our presence.
That was terrible.
To one another for our anniversary. And so it sounds like I'm being cheap for our anniversary, but it's really kind of the opposite.
It was just a few days early. But it's good planning on the part of the 30th anniversary.
All right, we had a party for our 25th anniversary for anybody who showed up. Thank you. But my folks are out of town right now, and so yeah, it's like we're not probably having that many parties. Although if anybody wants to come over to my folks on July 4th to watch fireworks, they are certainly welcome. I know Karen and Scott usually have a July 4th party. Have we heard about that?
I have not.
They are doing such a thing. Anyway, our the only advantage we have over Scott and Karen, and I know that nobody really cares that much, is that you can just sit down and watch the fireworks from my parents' house. Versus Scott and Karen's, you gotta hike.
Hike up the hill. Watch.
My parents have got a house on Calle Mayor that kind of overlooks the whole city, and so there may not be that many professional presentations. Although Step Up Center, which used to be Home Depot Center, should have one you should be able to see, as well as I think there's one in Redondo.
Might be if it's a good night, see Dodger Stadium.
Right, and you might be able to see Malibu or Santa Monica if they've got any up there. Plus, all the people who have the guerrilla fireworks throughout the city is kind of what we're looking forward to. We've actually been looking forward to it since my parents bought the house.
Doesn't Torrance still do this display in Wilson Park?
Perhaps, sounds right.
If they still do that, certainly would be very visible.
But the personal fireworks are actually what I'm kind of excited about. And we've always, since my parents bought this house, talked about it, but we've always either had a Dodger game or been traveling. So this is the first year we haven't. Even though my folks aren't home right now, we're still going to go watch fireworks from there. So everybody's welcome. And just message me or text me or whatever, and I will give you the address. So we got anniversary, we got fireworks. We're going to the Dodger game tomorrow night for our anniversary. At least if our tickets don't sell. Then we'll do something else. So we've got 6 tickets for Dodgers. We've got the field level 14, aisle 14, row A and B, which is...
No, we don't have B's.
We own...
Oh, we own, sorry.
Field level 14A and B. And we also have 2 in dugout club 7, row EE, seats 5 and 6, but 7's always empty. Because it's a row of 11, there's 4 on each side. We've got 2 in the middle, so there's a third row in the middle. So currently, it looks like Mary and I are going to sit in the dugout club together on our anniversary, and Jacob and maybe Sabrina are going to use them in the field level. But if anybody's interested in buying Dodger tickets, let me know, and I will send you over a list of the tickets we have available. We basically price them at our own cost for the regular season, with the exception of the Yankees games, which, basically just like the playoffs, we're trying to make back the money we had to spend, the money we had to put out, and any games that get burned or whatever. So we can kind of make back some of that money during the playoffs. But during the regular season, they're great seats, just like the best seats in the stadium kind of seats. And we sell them at our cost, although we tier them. What we do is, basically, we look at how much someone would want to go to the game, and Jacob helped us with this with his economics degree, in determining how much we want to go to that game or how much somebody else would want to, and then tiering the pricing so that half basically are above and half are below our cost. So in the end, it ends up being our cost, even though the more in-demand games, like Saturday night against the Giants, would be more than a Monday night against Marlins. But the Monday Night Marlin games then turn out to be a really good deal. And those games the Dodgers tend to win as well. And so you win either way. Either you get a great deal, but you're not seeing so many stars on the other side, but the Dodgers have a better chance of winning, or you're seeing a very competitive, very exciting marquee matchup. And it's just a little bit more. It's not a lot more. But then you don't have to pay StubHub fees if you buy from them, or sit in weird locations if you buy tickets from the Dodgers, which you are welcome to do as well. I encourage everyone to go to Dodger games, because we like it a lot. And we do have Kings tickets as well, but we haven't quite figured out. Usually we don't sell those because we like going. Yeah. It's only half as many games, and they don't play 2 nights in a row generally.
So you don't get 11-night homestands where you have to go every night, which is nearly impossible.
So the nice thing about the Kings tickets is we've got valet parking, and we've got passes to the chairman's room, where there's free snacks, and there's a bar down there where you can buy drinks, and a private club that is that chairman's room to hang out in between periods. There's 3 periods in hockey, but then there's a 20-minute intermission between those 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. And so it's kind of fun to hang out, and there's celebrities who hang out down there. And, we've been going for a long time.
Former players and
yeah, it's a good time.
Personnel that also used to be former players.
And as you go, because where our seats are, they are the chairman's room is underneath the seats basically, and so you have to walk down the aisle that we're on to get to the ice, and then you turn. But while you're walking down there, you can walk down while the game's in play and stand right next to the glass and get up close, even if it's just for a few seconds. Sometimes you get stuck there on the way back out, but then once again you're sort of watching from just the back of the front row. So we used to have those seats right in the front row, but they got very expensive. So we found these to be a little more economical. But if anybody's interested in any Kings games, take a look at the schedule, let me know. And we may publish a list, we haven't really decided yet. Usually we don't even put those on StubHub.
No, because we usually go.
With the Dodgers, though, because there's, they play 3 games in a row versus basically any team that comes to town. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 4, but generally 3. That going 3 nights in a row and driving from PV is tough. So that's why it's pretty much a mandatory thing with the Dodgers. And you'd say, well, you don't need to buy 6 tickets.
Wouldn't say that when it's World Series time. You'd be like, how do I get extra tickets?
Right.
6 isn't enough.
As the World Series comes around, everybody wants extra tickets.
Hey, don't you need me to come sit in your seats with you?
But with Jacob and Sabrina and me and Mary, it's 4 already. And so the first time the Dodgers went to the World Series in these last 2 years, we were selling 2 of our tickets to the same people for all the games, and so we only ended up with 2 in our seats. We had 2 in other seats, but they were bad.
They were pretty bad.
They gave us the opportunity to buy more, but like I said, they were bad. And so now that we have the dugout seats, we've got plenty, and we're not sharing them full time with anybody else because it just turned out not to make economic sense. It didn't pay. That the amount of money that we saved and not losing on StubHub fees, etc., was nowhere near what we could have made just selling 1 game during the playoffs. So it's not really a way to make money.
No, definitely not.
But we do have good seats, and if we don't lose too much money, it's worth it to us to be able to basically go to any game we want. And actually, because of the
have
way
our
we tier,
choice of picking with any game we want to go to.
right, one of the advantages of the way that we tier them is we tend to tier the more in-demand games at a higher price. And so if those sell the least often, because people want a lower price ticket, then we end up with those better games. So you're welcome to buy them from us. It's not ridiculously higher price, just a little bit.
But that means we also are going to good games and not just all the Marlins, because people came along and cherry-picked all the Friday nights without paying any kind of additional premium and leaving us with all the off-night.
Some people really like day games. Sorry. Some people really like day games. It just doesn't happen to be our thing. So we tend to have really good deals on day games, pretty much no matter who the competition is. So if you like day games, you should take a look at our list too. I was going to say last volley, and then you hit off the coin.
And so now I guess you decide whether that was the last volley end or whether there's still a last volley.
There's still a last volley.
Okay.
Hope you all have enjoyed.
Brenda is watching.
Hi, Brenda.
Hi, Brenda.
Hope everybody's enjoying watching Ping Pong Podcast number 17. We've enjoyed experiencing it, but we have to get back to our walk. We've got to get our exercise. In the last 2 days, I've only done about 8,500 steps. Usually I have a goal of 11,000.
Well, we had to move an entire 2 rooms of our house.
All right, we're doing some construction and taking out the theater, as I talked about, I think, yesterday.
Well, they've had to come out of there. We didn't get our walk in that day.
Yeah, but I walked up and down the stairs. I didn't have my phone in my pocket, but I must have gone up and down the stairs 40 times.
Right. And didn't get credit for it. Because you have your phone in your pocket.
Right, I'm also not getting credit for ping pong because
The phone's over there. I'm not getting credit for ping pong because I'm reading comments off the table.
so Karen wants us to get Fitbits so that we will get credit.
We'll get our credit for our...
We haven't gotten that professional, but once we start getting sponsors, then we're definitely going to do that.
Ah! Bye, everybody.
Thanks for watching Ping Pong Podcast number 17. Have a great day, everybody.